welcome to another episode of Revolution Sundays. With yours truly, A.B. Green Senior. What to do? Tag and share, share and tag. Tag and share and tag. Let people know that we're on the air today. I'm so excited, honored and privileged to be with you on today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you thoroughly for taking our time in your schedules to just drop by. Grand rising to you, and you, rising my Krista. Yes, Hillary, resident therapist, Pastor Cotton. Tag and share and tag and share and tag. Almighty, I'm just thankful and grateful for this moment that has been granted to us. We've been allowed to create and co-create. I am eternally thankful for who and what you are, what you're doing in us, with us, and through us. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for the revealing, the unfolding and unraveling of the mysteries of the universe. We bless you. We praise you. By Yeshua's name, consciousness, power, it is so. And so it is. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for your feedback. Don't forget to follow me at the various social media handles. Social media names that you see at the bottom of the screen at AG Green Now. Of course, on Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok and Instagram. What an honor and a privilege it is to be with you yet again on today. I always like to remind you that no matter what's going on in your life, Book of Philippians chapter 4 in particular reminds us that with oneness and partnership and awareness of Jesus the Christ, I can. I want you to type it in the comment section, I can. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things with Christ. I can do all things with the Christ mind. There may be some situations and circumstances that you're facing now that appear to be intimidating and opposing. I want you to type it in the comment section, I can. I can is merely a statement and a declaration that I can, meaning I am capable, meaning that I am able, meaning that I can draw from the divine at any point in time and endure, overcome, scale, master, conquer, heal, deliver, whatever is necessary. I can. I can. That's it. Type it in the comment section. I can. Speak it out loud. I can. Sometimes we feel like we can't, but we have to remind ourselves that I can. Sometimes circumstances are trying to present themselves as reality to us, as if we're unable to do something, but we have to declare and decree based on who and what we are, that I can. We are the offspring of a dynamic, powerful creator, source and sustainer that I believe to be all powerful, all in all, everywhere, and everywhere is in him. And I want you to type it in the comment section as you own this power that worketh from the inside of you. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Speak it out loud. Vocalize it. I am powerful. Own your power. Own your power. Celebrate your power. Be thankful for the power that you are and have as a divine species, a divine spirit who's one with God. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Almighty, we just thank you for the power that worketh in us. Glory to God. I am powerful. Come on, declare it, decree it, speak it. I am powerful. I am powerful. That's an own the power, know the power, recognize the power, live the power, because you are one with it. It is a part of you. It is not separate from you. It is a part of you. My goodness. And if you don't mind, for the next 60 seconds, let's just give praise and gratitude in this moment for all things. Matter of fact, I want you to type at least one thing in the comment section that you are grateful for. One thing that you give God praise for. One thing that you are thankful for. Come on, type it in the comment section. Type it in the comment section. Praise and gratitude alert. Let's get it on. God, I just thank you for everybody who's watching me. I thank you for the elevation of their personal lives. And I thank you for life in their lives, and that more abundantly, or that in abundance. That's what I'm thankful for today. Come on, type it in the comment section. What you're grateful for. Thank you. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Come on. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Yes, yes, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Come on. I'm grateful. I am thankful. I'm grateful. I am thankful. I'm saying it again. I'm grateful and I am thankful. We have to learn how to give praise to the Almighty. We have to learn how to also stand in the power of gratitude, of praise, of thanksgiving for the things that we do possess, for the things that are in our sphere of awareness, for the things that are present in our lives. And I'm telling you now, it is a powerful thing when we learn how to give praise. So glad to see you, and you today. Now I'm going to skip over the announcements. Hillary, we're going to update those announcements this week. But I also want to expedite the time because I have to officiate the service today. Something I rarely do, officiating a homegoing service. But I'm so grateful for you, and I want to know, what are you eating and sipping, and how you doing? What are you eating and sipping, and how are you doing? What are you eating and sipping, and how are you doing? Of course, I'm drinking my organic coffee from my I Am Powerful mug. Don't forget, you can go to divinespeciesshop.com and get this mug for yourself. But that's what I'm drinking, organic coffee with some hazelnut creamer in it. So tell me, what are you eating and sipping, and how are you feeling in this particular moment? What are you eating and sipping? And how do you feel? Let's see here. Hillary's got garlic Parmesan pasta. My niece, my Hillary. Garlic Parmesan pasta this morning, feeling rested and rejuvenated. Watch out, our resident mystic Wesley Turk says he just ate chicken wings. Sipping some water. Watch out now. Watch out. Who else want to share what you're eating and sipping? Let's see. Krista says omelet with spinach, feta cheese, and tomatoes. Sipping coffee with French vanilla creamer. Wow, what a combination. This early in the morning. Let's see. Resident therapist says he has lemon water, apple cider vinegar, doing well and peaceful. And I'm believing you are well. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And guess what? We want to celebrate somebody today. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Before we get to that, let's see. Brenda says eating raspberry and sipping mixed teas, feeling fresh. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Brenda. We want to celebrate today our resident mystic. This is his day that he was born into this dimension. This is the day that he came to Earth. And we want to celebrate 73 years young in Earth's chronological basis or Earth's chronological time. And we just want to show some love to him real quickly. Happy Earth Day to you, my brother, my friend, Pastor Wesley Turk, our resident mystic. Come on, let's show some love, and I'll put it up on the screen. Let's show some love to him right now. Let's show some love to him right now. A lot of people who don't make it to 73. What a day it is for him. And I want to say, I keep saying this, and I will. He's got a whole lot of testimonies to share, as well as his spiritual journey. So you see the love coming up for you. I'm resident mystic Wesley Turk. You see the love coming up for you. We celebrate you. We salute you. We love you. We thank you for all that you do, for showing up here week after week. And he is also a monthly donor. Wesley Turk is. We don't talk about what people give here, but I just want to give him that shout out. He gives as he could give to support me and to support this cause. So I, again, appreciate it. Been knowing him most of my life. We celebrate you and we salute you. And he says, thank you all. A lot of wisdom rolling around in that man's head. We're going to give him an opportunity to share some of that in the future. All right. I'm going to jump off this and get into what we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks. Let me do a poll with you real quick. To see where everybody is. Now, have you had the opportunity to read the first 2 blog articles that I have on Patreon? Let me know if you've had a chance to read the first 2 blog articles on Patreon. And I want to make sure you read it, first of all. I want to make sure that you read the first 2 blog articles on Patreon. Real quickly, want your feedback. Who's read the first 2 blog articles on Patreon? And you can read it. You have to be at least a member. I'm allowing free members to read them as well. Okay, let's see here. There's yes. There's another yes. Okay, there's another when the opportunity presents itself. All right. There we go. So between the blog articles and the teaching, latest teachings, then connecting Mark 9:23 and our assistance, that's where we're going to be for a few minutes today. Tying it in with quantum physics has created a tiny little stir, which is good. A tiny little ripple, I would say, that I hope creates a bigger wave at some point in time. I'm asking for a couple of reasons. Number one, it gives you some background as to what I'm discussing on Sundays and on Spiritual Awakening during the week. Some scientific background. I am going to slow down a little bit in terms of the presentation of the teaching, because I know that it is quite a bit to digest, quite a bit to take in, especially if you have not been exposed to that kind of information before. And thank you, Pastor Turkey says, letting us know who we are and how to live from heaven to earth. And I had a friend of mine, close friend, brother, reach out to me and ask me where that came from. And it was a good question. I had to pause, although I know the why, my why, it was good that I was asked that question because I'm sure I'll be asked that question a lot more before time, uh, you know, unravels fully for me in this existence, in this iteration. So, number one, you've read it. Number two, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Those first two posts, I want you to share them. You know, how I want you to share them. I want you to share them on social media. And I also want you to share them by text. Okay, social media and text. Even if you're in private groups, I think it's a good read. I think both are good reads for people to consider. And uh, the first entry, I kind of give you an introduction to uh, Mark 23 and how it is um, certified, being certified by science. Not that it needed any certification, but I'm going to say that science uh, and the advancement in technology is enabling us to see within scientific circles and scientific frameworks how these spiritual, what we call spiritual mystical principles work, number one, and number two, how we as a spirit operate. And this is only going to increase more and more, we say, as time goes on, but as we continue to move forward in this existence, if I can say it like that, information is going to, that was once codified is being decoded, and is being decoded with empirical data where it's not so mysterious or seemingly hidden or seemingly incomprehensible. But we're seeing with data how what the spiritual sages and spiritual teachers have been talking to us about for the last several thousand years is actually true. And I'm going to add to that in a minute. So the next thing I would do is ask you to just share it with people. Share it with people. I want people to read it. And yes, it is designed to stimulate thought. It is designed for people to re-engage how they've been conditioned to think. And in that re-engagement, begin to open themselves up to God, the divine, the source, and the sustainer, to reveal to them who and what they are in a pure spiritual slash I am sense, disconnected from physicality and disconnected from what we know as this reality, to recognize that we exist on a higher plane and we are the masters of reality by divine permission. So I'm glad that you read it. And if you haven't read it, I want you to make sure that you take time and read it. I'm really just talking from the blog over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Just going to be honest, I don't really have any notes in front of me other than the notes that's on the blog. So I just basically go to the blog, where there's a couple other sources I may pull up, and I'm teaching from that. All right, Mark 9:23, real quickly, and then I'm gonna pull out some more nuggets from that and try and be done before the normal time so I can have ample time to get to my next engagement. And Yeshua said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. All things are possible to him that believeth. All right. Let's see. We got a comment here. Yes, sir. I've shared and will continue to. Your teaching is awakening to our individual I am definitely needed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Um, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Wow. I want you to type in the comment section, wow, with 3 exclamation marks after it. Type that in the comment section, the word wow, with 3 exclamation marks after it. Type that in the comment section for me, please. This is How can I put this? So powerful, so dynamic. And I'm going to revisit a couple of texts. I'm telling you, in order to embrace this, you've got to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And you've got to remember that you are manifesting based on what you think. You are manifesting based on what you think. Understand that what you believe is a part of your consciousness. I'm going to say it again. What you believe is a part of your consciousness. And when I say consciousness, included in that discussion is awareness, but your consciousness, again, is an awareness, uh, a realization, also conceptualization, the literal creation and manifestation that stems from your core beliefs. Your core beliefs are what are responsible for your self concept, the concept you have of yourself. Your core belief also decides and defines your concept of a superior being, your concept of God. Back to you, it also defines your self image. Do I need to keep going? It also defines your self awareness. Put on the screen the great mystic Neville Goddard, who said, "Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his consciousness objectified." Consciousness objectified. The reason why this is relevant again is because consciousness is influenced by belief. It is influenced by what you think about the creator, what you think about evil, what you what you think about possibility, non-possibility, what you think about existence and non-existence. All of these things are part of your consciousness. And every day you are creating something based on your consciousness. The PhD Linda Humphrey says perception molds, shapes, and influences our experience of our personal reality. I keep having these discussions with you because until y'all stop putting the creation of reality and on a superior being, on an almighty being, and start taking responsibility that has been bestowed upon you and inherently within you. You are doing this every day based on the power that God, the source, sustaining and creator, has given you. You're going to continue to forfeit and give your power away to it and other beings, not knowing that the whole time you're exercising this power, hear me, with minimal focus, minimal intention, or should I say, with poor strategy. You're showing up in the world with poor strategy. You're showing up in the world reflexive, meaning that according to your core belief, you're making adjustments in your perception because you perceive that people or the world is doing something to you. So you're scrambling in your creative response or creative reaction to do something to counteract that, not knowing that even your enemies are part of your own creation. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So Dr. Wayne Dyer said, if you believe it will work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you see obstacles. Again, this is discussing with us about consciousness, consciousness. Faith, what you believe. I put these quotes up before. I'm going to continue to put them up. Remember that your dominating thoughts uh, attract through a definite law of nature by the shortest and most convenient route, the physical counterpart. Be careful what your thoughts dwell on. Those are just a few quotes I wanted to start out with today. Now, what makes Yeshua's statement so powerful um, is that it is a spiritual law. It is a spiritual principle. I want you to type it in the comment section. This is a spiritual law or principle. Type that in the comment section. This is a spiritual law or principle. I want you to type that in the comment section. This is a spiritual law or principle. Type that in the comment section. This is a spiritual law or principle. Now, why do I constantly harp on that? Family, I constantly emphasize that because I want you to awaken to understand that spiritual laws existed, family, before there was a physical, tangible universe. Okay, let me say that again. Physical laws existed, excuse me, spiritual laws existed before there was a physical, tangible universe. It predates the creation of our species. It predates the creation of any other species that may be on this planet with us that we are, for the most part, ignorant of their presence. It's created and hardwired into the fabric of what we know to be reality that first exists in the spiritual, in the quantum, and then of course what we know to be the three-dimensional, uh, the physical, some refer to as the simulation. It is temporal, hear me, and its shape and form literally is based on our perception, which is our creation. I want you to hear me. This is why I'm driving this point home to you. I want you to type it in the comment section. I want you to type this in the comment section. I must open myself up to receive. Type that in the comment section. I must open myself up to receive. So, what science is doing again is confirming something that has existed for we don't know how long. I would say millions of years. I might say billions of years. Okay. This is all science is doing is confirming what has already existed. So again, the illustration I used recently was how laughable it was for Spain to think that Columbus found America. Columbus didn't discover America. There were people already living here, Indians and people of African descent. From their perspective, they discovered it. From the Indians' perspective and other natives who lived here, you haven't discovered nothing. This is our land. We've been here the whole time. So just because you came into the knowledge of something doesn't mean it didn't exist before. Doesn't mean it's not truth because you're just learning about it or being exposed to. Doesn't mean it has not been working all along and doesn't mean it has not been in existence all along. It has been in existence. You just didn't know it was in existence. This is what I want you to grasp. This predates any text. This predates the planet. This predates the solar system. These principles, these spiritual laws that govern us and our existence predates everything. This is what I want you to open your heart up to receive. And as the resident mystic said, God is not putting these hurdles in place. We, by our own misconceptions, are putting hurdles in place to the power that we are and the power that we possess, again, given to us by the Creator. Yeshua doesn't attach strings in Mark 9:23. We attach strings, we attach conditions, not Yeshua. Through this principle, it is believed that God's consciousness or thought in the universe is a manifestation of the mind of God. Using this law, we can harness the power of our minds to creation. That's just a little thought that I wanted to leave for your consideration on today. So as we are continuing to uh, recognize from what I've been sharing with you about the principle, the observer effect, quantum mechanics, quantum physics, the double slit experiment, and how it is connected to Mark 9:23. Did y'all see that table that I put up last week? Anybody remember that table I put up last week and showed you the various different religions? Let me see if I still have it loaded up here. The various different religions I do. Let me put it up again because I want to show you something. I want you to see this real quickly here for a reason. I went over the first 10, and there's a reason why I'm doing this. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Some of y'all nervous. You ought to be nervous. It's challenging everything you know, and that's not a bad thing, right? Mark 9:23. Let's look at a couple things. Again, we went over the core belief. Faith releases divine action. Belief enables miracles. Where does belief come from? Within us. Who are we? Divine spiritual beings, right? You and I are really not from this planet. I'm going to say it again. You and I are really not from this physical planet. I want you to understand that you came into this dimension. And you, when I say came, you're still existing in that other dimension, controlling a physical avatar body and having a physical avatar experience, but you're still a spirit being. The biblical text says it, other texts say it. This is the first thing you must continue to own and own it most consistently. You must own, this is my mantra, I am spirit and I am supernatural. You must own that. When you own that I am spirit, listen to this, I am not trying to be a spirit. I am not trying to be spiritual. I am spirit. And I pray, God, that your whole spirit, soul, and body is what Paul said, be preserved blameless. You and I are spiritual beings. Now, I'm going to what we call a homegoing later to officiate. Within the last 2 to 3 years of my ascension, I don't even see what we consider to be death the same way anymore. I used to fear having that experience. I used to um, have concerns about it. And the only concerns I would have are concerns that I'm battling in terms of making sure that I have accomplished what I'm supposed to while I'm in this iteration of my or version of myself, and making sure that I've loved the loved ones, the people that I'm loyal to and are loyal to me in a better place in terms of legacy. But as far as the experience itself, I have no concerns about it. You know why? Because I know I pre-existed before I came into this iteration, into this, watch this physical DNA presentation. I existed. I was already real. I was already here. I was already, existed somewhere. Are you catching what I'm saying? And I will continue to exist after I leave this body. Catch what I'm saying? So this is then Judaism, Kabbalah. Consciousness shapes spiritual realms. Belief realigns divine energy. Islam, Sufism. Certainty and trust invite divine outcomes. This is a core belief principle. Consciousness manifests reality. Belief is an act of self realization. I'm showing you these things for a reason. Buddhism, mind precedes all phenomenon. Belief shapes karma. Okay. Some of y'all know what karma is. Taoism, alignment with the Tao activates cosmic flow. Belief harmonizes life. Zen Shingon, insight transforms reality. Belief becomes lived awareness. See the symmetrical connection between all these religions that don't believe 100% the same way. African spirituality. Belief invokes ancestral spiritual power, thought through word, and thought, through word and thought. When you start looking at African spirituality and Hermeticism, you're looking at some of the oldest collections of principles on the planet. This is from the Kabbalion. The universe is mental, belief is causal force. Catch this now, catch this. Many of these beliefs they predate the Bible, they predate the Quran, some of them predate the Bhagavad Gita and other texts. All right, here's new thought, which is relatively new. Mind creates experience, belief affirms and manifests. Metaphysics. Belief creates energetic blueprints. Reality is consciousness. Quantum spirituality. Observer effect. Belief collapses potential into experience. Now you say, now why in the world are you showing me this? I'm showing you this because I want you to understand that different revelations concerning our existence, there is a connecting thread that is, number one, defining the creator, and number two, defining who and what we are in this experience. Catch what I'm saying today. And the challenge you and I have is that we've been raised in environments that teach us exclusivity, meaning that if you're not a part of my belief system, you are absolutely positively wrong and on your way to somebody's hell. So you don't open yourself up to the possibilities that you could be have living religious truth and not spiritual truth. One thing I love about Yeshua in his life is Yeshua was not religious. You'll notice he's pretty much anti-Judaism. His conceptual framework of God is totally different, watch this, than the people in the first century, including folk who started a church in his name after he was gone, who wrote other books. You'll notice that Yeshua's conceptual framework and definition of God, a tender, loving, gentle God, is even different than his presentation in the Torah or what we consider to be Old Testament texts. What I want you to understand is that if you have resistance to this type of teaching, it is because you have been taught exclusivity, like other religions have taught exclusivity, meaning that this is exclusive to our group, our club. And if by chance you don't adhere to this, then you are faulty, you are false, you're sinful, you're evil, you're off course, you're out of bounds, you are heretical, you are whatever they have labeled you to be. But I want you to begin to see, even with my discussion from quantum physics, that my impact on the world and my impact on reality as a spirit being, I came here like that, not being dressed down in any religious garb or robe or any psychological religious garb or robe or experience. I come into this physical body. I control this physical body as a dynamic, powerful, divine, spiritual species. And when I open my eyes as an infant, I'm powerful. When I'm a toddler, I'm powerful. I may not start recognizing this until I become older, but these laws that govern the spiritual and the physical universe, I am already impacting them the moment I get here. Actually, before I come here, I'm impacting it. And while I'm here, I'm impacting it. The question is, who's teaching me how and who's teaching me what I can and cannot impact? And what is that teaching based on? And is the teaching limiting me, hindering me, and binding me from expressing my God self, my spiritual self, who and what I really am in the whole grand scheme of things? Or are there a bunch of conditions presented outside of Mark 9:23 that's telling me somehow I'm impotent, somehow I'm ineligible, somehow I'm weak, somehow I'm not good enough? based on what I eat, what I drink, who I hang with. Are you catching what I'm saying today? So I'm saying to you, Mark 9:23 is a pre-existing spiritual principle, family, that if you can believe, all things literally are possible. Let me see how many minutes I got left. Let me go into a few points I want to make before we get off here on today. So, as I mentioned in the presentation in blog, the second entry of the blog, uh, dealing more specifically with the double slit experiment. And I will quote from John Archibald Wheeler again, whom I quote in the blog. We are participators in bringing into being not only the near and here, but the far away and long ago, end quote. Thich Nhat Hanh says, attention is the stuff reality is made of. As Yeshua is talking to this man who believes his son is possessed by some kind of evil, sinister spirit, he is literally having a conversation with him about a fundamental principle of the universe. A fundamental principle of the universe. Consciousness participates in and even determines the outcome of beliefs. In this consciousness is what you believe. I'm going to say it again. It is what you believe. Now, as we see in the double slit experiment, there's a simple setup. A beam of particles like electrons or protons are fired at screens with two slits. If observed like tiny billiard balls, we expect them to pass through one slit or the other and form two clusters on the back wall. But that's not what happened. When the electrons were observed being shot from the electron beam gun, the particles behave like waves. Waves means light. It's light energy. They create an interference pattern on the wall as if each particle is somehow passing through both slits at once, interfering with itself. Catch that. Now, when scientists observe which slit the particles go through, the interference pattern vanishes. When they decide to put this s- tiny instrument to observe what happened, the pattern vanishes. Instead, the particles behave like classic particles again. Particles represents physical matter passing through one slit or the other, not both at the same time. Now, a couple of things I want to establish here. In quantum mechanics, a particle such as an electron or photon exists in a state of what's called superposition. That is, it exists in all possible states at once until it is measured. What I want you to understand is that faith is superposition. You as a spiritual being who possess faith, before you use the faith, you as a spiritual being with this faith exists in a state of superposition. Superposition means there's unlimited potential with this faith that you have not yet given an assignment to. I'm going to say it again. There's unlimited potential in this faith that you have not given an assignment to because you have not given intention to it yet. The powerful thing about this experiment is that it is determined that these electrons had consciousness, and their consciousness is believed to have been affected by the consciousness of the scientists. It changed the way it acted. It adjusted its actions purposely because of observation and intention. I want you to hear me. And as I shared with you before, quantum mechanics and quantum physics is not as old as Newtonian and Cartesian physics. Newtonian and Cartesian physics that gives us, like the law of gravity and all these other laws, is a predictable science. Quantum mechanics and quantum physics comes into being from non-predictability, and the parameters or the definitions of locality and non-locality, meaning what's local and present and what's not, starts to shift. And electrons start showing us that they don't have to make a linear trek or a linear path like that used to be in the old models that we saw growing up, some of us in our old science books. Quantum mechanics has done away with the old atomic models of electrons, protons, and neutrons, circulating as if they're in predictable orbital patterns. No, this experiment proved that they have the ability to be in one place, disappear, and reappear in another place. And at the same time, quantum entanglement proves that if one or two of these are entangled together, it doesn't matter, make a difference how far they are separated in terms of distance. What happens in one will happen in another, even if it's a million miles away. So the observer effect is basically saying that the wave, which is photonic light, collapses into a physical structure when it is observed with intention. Oh my goodness. Catch this, catch this, catch this. So in this all potential form as a wave, it could be anything. It only becomes something when it is given an intention, when it is from the creator itself who has the wave, which represents a thought, which represents a desire, gives it a desire, gives it an intention, and then it will collapse into a physical representation. I want you to hear me. So he's telling the man, if you can believe, again, this belief, this faith is where unlimited possibilities exist. Unlimited assignments can come out of it, again, with intention and careful observation from you as the person who possesses all this unlimited potential. You've got to give it an intention. Now, another powerful thing is this, as I shared with you, and I quoted from one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's books, and I'll continue to quote from his books because he's not only citing experiments that have been done to prove this, he's done his own verified experiments. Number one, the EEG machine proves to us that our brain waves can be captured. They're merely electrical impulses. Now, a lot of times this goes over people's heads. You must understand that when they put that cap on your head and they are measuring brain activity, I want you to understand that that brain activity that is captured by the cap is not just being captured by the cap because the cap was put on it. That brain activity is transmitting outside of our skulls every day. Now, why is this important? Because your thoughts create a field around you. You have an auric field, okay? And that's also partially electromagnetic. Some scientists believe that this field is unlimited, meaning that it projects out of you and it could go anywhere at any time without regard for distance, without being limited by distance. Then why am I saying this? And then I'm going to have to close here. This experiment is showing us that if cells are made of molecules and molecules are made of atoms, and atoms, of course, consist of subatomic particles. These are the building blocks, again, for physical things, tangible things, what we think is solid state form or solidity. Understand, family, that your thinking is impacting what you think is solid every day of your life. Watch this and understand that whatever it is you are looking at in the physical is based on was once existed in potential form, that your observation of a situation created an intent that you attached to it that collapsed it into a physical situation. And here it is, you think other people are creating your physical situations. Here it is, I thought other folks were creating my physical situations. When I didn't understand that as I am spirit and I am supernatural, and then when I, as a spirit being, grant intention to something that I observe, the very molecular structure of the thing that makes up the molecules, that makes up the cell, that makes up what we know as solid form, is going to collapse into a form. It's going to collapse into a scenario. It's going to collapse. When we say collapse, we literally mean it's going to be created or converted or transduced from an energy state to a physical state, which is still made up of energy. Wow. Hear me. Remember, the atom is believed to be 99.99999% energy. Remember, the atom is only considered to be 0.00004 physical. Catch what I'm saying. This whole thing that you really think is just solid, this hand that you think is solid, it's malleable. The basic fundamental principles of this hand is subatomic particles. Catch what I'm saying. We've got situations where people can teleport. In biblical text, it talks about Philip being translated. Catch this. Somehow, some way, you think that's just a spiritual thing, and it is a spiritual thing. It is a spiritual thing within the person. Hear me, who has a knowledge and an understanding, watch this, and walks in a dimensional place of self-mastery to be able to shift from an atomic level to impact the physical level and move from one place by merely thinking it to another place. You know, the CIA has experimented with all this stuff. So the reason I'm sharing this is I'm sharing a lot of this stuff because I really want you to begin to grasp that this is who and what you are every day. It sounds like woo woo, it sounds like Yahoo, but more and more people are starting to become awakened to this because of the scientific confirmation, like through the observer effect, an experiment that was done in like the 1800s. Is showing us our impact on what we thought was the world around us, which is really the world within us. I'm going to say it again. What we thought was the world around us, which is really the world within us that we are projecting outwardly. And then there is quantum entanglement with other people to produce the appearance of a shared reality. Oh my goodness. So, as I close today, and I've said enough, and I'm trying to do a better job of taking my time, and we'll revisit this again in midweek study. Whatever it is you believe, persistently and consistently, and you add emotion to it in a negative or positive sense, family, is the thing that is showing up in your world. And one of the things that uh, I am learning and continue to learn is why when I have certain thoughts that arise, and I know they're not the thoughts I want to think, I have to get down within myself and constantly choose not to choose it, because if I keep choosing it, even if it's negative, it's going to manifest. So The possibility is what Yeshua told him. All possibility, unlimited possibility, immeasurable possibility. Watch this, potential, like the wave, like the light wave. All things are possible to them that believe. Hear me. And I know people have a lot of questions about that, but what if 10 people want to believe they're the president? What you don't understand is that that person could be the president in a timeline you don't know, that you don't see, that you're not aware of. You could be dealing with the person who did not persist enough in the belief to collapse it into a crystallized, tangible form of reality for them. But right now, while I'm speaking, you're transmitting, you're creating something, you're making something. Right now, while I'm speaking, your belief is putting something together. If you persist in allowing that thought to hang around, if you continue to give energy to it as a spirit being, if you continue to give focus or put focus on it as a spirit being, just like that wave collapsed into a particle, and just like those waves turned into another form and entered the slit differently than when it was unobserved, it's going to show up the way you've been thinking about it, whether it's negative or positive. Catch that. And last but not least, no matter who you call on, this is your power. I'm going to say it again. No matter who you call on, no matter who you pray to, this is your power. This is your ability. There is no exclusive club where you are not this power. Activity now that exists in this club might be that there are some people who are ascending to higher levels because they have been initiated into certain levels of teaching and exposure to that they embraced, they embodied, they became it, and now they're living out the power of that dimension, the power of the awareness of the knowledge of that dimension. Are you catching what I'm saying today? Yeshua could walk on water. He's walking in a dimension where he's aware of his ability, that nothing is really solid. And even the atoms in the water, the molecules in the water, have to conform to his thoughts that I want to walk on you like I'm walking on what we call a solid road. I need y'all to catch what I'm saying today. This is why we see people doing what we've never seen before, because they took it from a thought in quantum physics, a wave of unlimited potential, and with intention created, transduced, collapsed it into a physical form of an iPhone. Because before Stephen Jobs and his team, there was no iPhone. Catch that. Some people told Stephen Jobs it was impossible to do what he had seen in unlimited potential in his mind to do. Come on here, somebody. But he had this ability to conceive, to believe, to experience, to ra'ah, like Joshua had to learn, to not just believe something, to have mental sight, but to experience it inside first. Come on. And from that lived reality experience, then it collapses into the components of a team that's drawn to you, that now takes your vision, that now takes your belief, that now takes your desire. And now they are upgraded because now they're in sync with you in terms of collapsing their own waves of belief and possibility to see now what they could not see before, which includes the solution, which includes the schematics, which includes the laws that are necessary, which includes the principles, which includes the understanding of engineering, so forth and so on, to complete the assignment. I didn't even give this presentation a name today. Pastor Jerry, what title have I been given this? Whatever title I've been given this, I want you to know, and I want you to understand that you possess unlimited potential. Okay. And if you believe it, all things are possible to collapse from wave into particle form. Wealth, love, wonderful health, ministry, service, changing of your body, changing of your mind, impacting people. It's all possible. Shift your intention and your focus. Stop collapsing it based on the 90% of negative, repetitive thoughts you're having every day, and shift your intention to collapse the wave into a reality of something bigger and better. Ooh, I felt that one. I felt that one. I felt that one. Many people are creating from the same blueprint, the same pattern. That's why they're seeing the same terrain every day, seeing the same problems every day, seeing the same limited solutions every day. You are creating these things in your cyclical pattern of thinking, not knowing it's collapsing into a particle, into a physical structure in your life. You got to shift your thinking. I gave you some pointers, I believe it was recently, that's based on the blog article, and I'm not even finished dealing with the blog article. But start in the morning by recalibrating your mind and your thoughts. Start in the morning. Just take a couple minutes. Do some brief meditation. Decide how you're going to think and order your day in terms of your thoughts. And make a conscious decision every morning to be more diligent about what you allow yourself to believe and the states of consciousness that you allow yourself to live in. Stop living in hatred. Stop living in fear. Stop living in drama. Stop living in depression. You can stop that. Stop living in these cyclical patterns that are always keeping you weighed down and keeping the water muddied in your life. Make an intention from the morning in your meditation. Create how your day is going to be and create how you're going to adjust to any disruptions in your thinking cycle. Decide within yourself, I'm going to believe better for myself, for my family, for my life. And when my mind and my body resists, then I'm going to continue to know what I'm empowered to do, and that is master and conquer it by telling it what to do. Okay, I really got to stop. Really got to stop. Love you all so dearly. Let me know what you thought about the presentation today. I'm going to put the giving opportunities up on the screen. What you're thinking. Let me know how this has impacted you today. Real quickly, talk to me. How you're thinking, what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Ooh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Let's see here. So my niece is a prime example. I would not embarrass her to call her out. We talked a couple of days ago about some things that were going on in her life. I gave her some advice, and one of the things I told her to do was create a goal of how much money she wanted to make. And be consistent and persistent in seeing yourself hitting that goal every time. Well, she texted me yesterday and confirmed that I was right, because when she set the goal, I know what happens when you set the goal. When you set the goal, before you set the goal, your faith just exists again in superposition, where you are in superposition. But when you give it an intent of a goal, guess what happens? And you stay persistent in observing that, then reality will shift, family. Because it's recognizing that you're looking at it, you're creating it, you're observing it according to your faith. Hear me? And it rearranges itself. She hit the goal that she set. And she could do it every time because it's her who's empowered as a spiritual being by God to be able to live this way. Catch what I'm saying? Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. All right. If you want to give a donation, you can. $AG Green, $AG Green Enterprises, PayPal, AG Green Enterprises, or you could just go to the link tree there and find the given opportunities there. All right. I want you to apply this. I want you to take two minutes. Now, I want to start something with you today real quickly, family. I want to challenge you today. And I want our resident therapist to help us stay on track. I want you for the next 7 days to write down something, at least 3 things every day when you start your day that you're thankful for. Number 1, write down 3 things. Number 2, I want you to practice praise and gratitude throughout the whole day. For 7 days. Genuinely be thankful. I don't care if it's you thankful for a jar. You might be thankful for your phone service. It doesn't matter. Who's going to join this praise and gratitude? This praise and gratitude. What should we call it? What should we call it? Praise and gratitude challenge? Is that what we want to call it? But who's going to join me real quickly? Who's going to join me? Who's going to join me on this? I've already started it. I started it last week because I was led to do it. And I'm continuing to do it. I need to write my 3 things down today. Well, I actually write more than 3 things, but I just got up busy and needing to get some stuff done. But you best believe, as they say, they'll be written out before the sun sets. All right. Thank you. So you're going to get up and write at least 3 things in your journal, in a book somewhere. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. And then you're going to practice that gratitude throughout the day, right? And hear me, you're not practicing it to get something. When I was led to do it, I'm not doing it so I can get something, so I can manifest something. No, I'm doing it because I want to be more intentional about praising God, being thankful and grateful for who and what I am and what I have and who's in my life. Last but not least, sending out into the world and the universe those signals that I am a thankful, grateful, loving, appreciative, spiritual being. Wow, I felt that one. I want you to start it, do it for 7 days. Like I said, I'm continuing mine for I don't know how long. And I might challenge you to go another week, but I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee you this. Great things. Great things. Because I've had some things happen to me in the last couple of days that were unexpected. And it's because I just got up every day and decided I was going to, with intention, be thankful and grateful. Some opportunities that present themselves, and I'm still following up on them, but they weren't there before. I didn't see them before. So, but I'm just practicing gratitude. Let's see, there's a word from Miss Brenda. Speak the miracles out during these 7 days that you should shift and collapse in now. So that's Miss Brenda. I think that's for Brenda Harris, I believe. That's who he's talking to. All right. This is a direct word from Pastor Cotton, our resident therapist, I believe it's to Brenda Harris. All right. He said, yes, sir. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. I'm going to release you with the shalom blessing. Love you so dearly. Look forward to seeing many of you all in a couple of days. And I hope that you thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy your holiday. Shalom. Shalom. Peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Everything miraculous. It is so. And so it is. Love you.